What's going on, guys? You got Kwasi here for Kwasi Media Network and Kwasi Animation Studio. Yes, today I want to talk about something a little bit that's pretty usual for most people in the world of art and creativity, and that is how to stay motivated. Now, plenty of other channels do this all the time, and I'm not going to say I'm different or say that my mindset on it is different. I mean, it is in so many ways, because a lot of people say they stay motivated by some weird thing or whatever, but the way I stay motivated isn't really a state of staying. Okay, so I always find it like this. Okay, so there's a YouTube channel, or a guy that does his YouTube channel. It goes by the name of Krigeta. Okay, Krigeta. Okay, so it's like Vegeta with Kree in front of it. All right, and I had asked this question in Discord: how do I stay motivated? Because I do so much so often, and a lot of people come to the second channel and don't realize that this is the second channel. This is the channel with all the behind the scenes and all the techniques and all those things, the things that you see now. Like even here, what's on the screen is for my full length feature film that's coming later this year, Kalita Unchained. So one of the things that I think that a lot of people really don't realize is I don't have to stay motivated, because everything I do is something I want to do. That's how that works. So if you want to stay motivated, then make sure it's the thing you want to do. If you have to sit down and say, well, man, all right, let me go sit down and learn some animation, rather than just sitting down and saying, okay, let me have fun with it, let me play with it. And even now, I'm building this environment or whatnot. Excuse me, I'm building this environment, and just for the sake of it, I'll show you guys at least one other environment that I've done where that was the whole thing, where I didn't have to stay motivated, because it works for itself. Now, I always put a character in the scene for the sake of what's that called? I can't think of words, man. I put a character in the scene for the sake of scale. Okay, so we're gonna click old Henry here, and I'm gonna use him to center myself. All right, so this is the corridors of one of the scenes. All right, so let's illuminate it full illumination. So again, like I said, to try to stay motivated isn't necessarily hard, because I always want to be doing something. All right, so let me turn off the overlay. So here is the environment. So we have our decals or whatnot showing what's going in which direction or whatnot. Okay, and each one of these corridors are similar to a certain point. Like there's a control box there. It should be some piping over here, but I don't think I put it on that one. It's definitely over here and there. The piping there and some more there. Of course, piping here. Overhead lights. The stairs are floating stairs, but they have illumination on them. So yeah, it's of course, each one of these things go to something different. All right, so that's just, so me saying, okay, I want to stay motivated. One of the biggest things that I find that makes it simple for me to stay motivated is the fact that I just want to be doing it. I enjoy telling stories, and I know that I don't have anybody out there that will model environments for me in at least the way that I would want them modeled, or even if they do them whatever way they want and I accept them, will they do this based on how they feel, or will they do it because they're just motivated and excited? Meaning, not motivated, but excited to do it because they just want to. It's a part of their state of being. Okay, and that's one of the biggest issues that I find with a lot of people. Okay, is that they're trying to stay motivated, but the thing is you have to stay motivated for something you don't want to do. Okay, like for instance, this is the environment. Okay, clearly see, this is the environment again. Good old Henry is in the shot. Got good old Henry in there. I use him for scale. Okay, so he's one of the characters in the movie. So, and this is just for exterior shots. This is not for internal shots, because all the internal shots, like those corridors, these are those corridors. Okay, so if we go and illuminate fully, you'll see what I'm saying. So the thing is building these environments is not something I particularly want to do, but the reason why I do it is because I'm at this place where I say to myself, okay, all right, I want to get this done now. So instead of waiting on or trying to find assets that may fit my need or desire, I just go make them. And I realized, like, those little bitty techniques and skills that one could have Oh, come on, thing. How did I get way up there? All right. So, like, a lot of this is just duplicates. Like, you see how all of those lit up? Let's come back into a solid view. So you see how those lit up? But when I do this, the only one, like, these are just facsimiles. Okay, so they are not the actual thing. So, and the same goes for this one. Like, this is the duplicate. All right, and like you see, there's a duplicate there, and then that one's its own one. So it's again same thing here. These are duplicates. Like, they all have a as you can see there. See, so they all have a parent. All right. So for me to state, so I learned those little techniques and tricks, and that's one of the things that you have to do. No matter what you do, if you're writing a book, learn little techniques and tricks that help you tell the story in a way. Like, people will say, well, write a bunch of short stories. Or for me, I'm like, why? If you're gonna write a bunch of short stories, make sure that the stories are filled with content, meaning they have story involved, and they're not just us just getting to feel a certain way about the character. But I want to feel like I know the character. Okay, so that's one of the things that I set out to do. So when you say you go over to the Quasi Media Network channel and you go and look at a lot of the stuff I have there, I have comedy things there. I have, because it's a TV network. That's basically what I'm doing. This is a TV network. It's not for behind the scenes. It's not for none of that. Even though I did do live streams on there for that or whatnot, but that's because I was like, I don't know if I want to do 2 channels. That's why I say the whole idea of staying motivated is more geared toward one sitting down and saying to themselves, okay, how do I stay motivated? And do I want to do this? And that's the question you really should ask yourself if you feel like you're not motivated. Do I want to be doing this? So if you can easily be sidetracked from it, and you can sit down and watch hours of television, Netflix or Hulu or TikTok or whatever you're doing, then you really don't want to do the thing you're doing. Because those things would never supersede them. They just wouldn't. Why? Because they don't carry enough weight for you. They don't carry enough weight. All right. Like another good example. Let's go to this one. Excuse me. All right. So I was setting this scene up. This outside block is the volume. Okay. So this is again another scene from the film. This will be another scene from the film, along with. Probably going to be doing my teaser from this, but I mean, you got a Bugatti in there or whatnot, got a floating sign, and there's a lot of extra stuff. Like, I have a whole thing for extras for the people. I took the characters out, but that's mostly because I didn't want them to be bogging anything down yet. But yeah, so it's, and let's illuminate this scene so you can see what it looks like with full illumination, but fully rendered. But yeah, so to stay motivated, one of the biggest things that I do is just get up and go, you know what, man, I just want to be doing this because I love to see the end result. I want to see it more than I want you to see it. Don't get me wrong. I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to be a part of the process and say, man, I like this. This is great. This is amazing. This is cool. I want to be a part of it also. So yeah. All right. So like, for instance, the sign even has letters that come across it. I'll probably make that sign a little bigger. Okay, we're not gonna stop. All right, and then I want to say that the Bugatti. I feel like the lights aren't bright enough. I just feel like the lights aren't bright enough. And I think I cranked them up to what, 1200? Oh, I didn't. I think I'm to 1200. Wing! There we go. There we go. Some bright lights up in there. All right. Okay, so let's close that out. Vehicles. All right, miscellaneous. I'm gonna click this group of rocks because I want to get back over here. All right. And there's a reason why I want to get back because I want to see if I can see the lights from here. There we go. That's what I want. I want to be able to see the lights through the fog because if I turn the fog off, I know you say he's talking about the scene. Yeah. So yeah, and again we have some darkness and some nighttime cover or whatnot. And again, the scene is blocked out. But it's only specific parts we need to see, and a lot of people don't realize that's how it happens in a lot of stuff. Like if you really go and look at behind the scenes for a lot of different things, that's what you get. Like a good example, let's go to this bowl. All right, I mean, like there's nothing in the bowl, but there's a box. you know, a fridge, two stove tops, a small little cutting table, another back table with a dishwasher on it. I mean, the thing that says noodles. I mean, it's just this is an integral part of the movie, but or rather a hot spot for the movie. Again, we have like if I come in here, these are procedurally done, meaning that this has an array on it. If I turn this on and I click that, all of the other buildings basically disappear. Okay, the same thing for the center mass. Most of those disappear because it's all arrays and mirrors. Okay, same goes for these. I have so many of those in the scene. Those are AC units. But yeah, so to stay motivated, it's simple. Just if it's something you want to do that. So if you would rather watch TikTok, then that's what you're interested in, and find a way to make that your thing. But if you are really about creating, then sit down and start creating. Play with the tools. I mean, one of the biggest things that I did was open up Blender and say, okay, let me figure it out. Now, understand, I know y'all say, what's the default cube? I don't have a default cube. I changed my default. I come down here and go change default and save starter file. I just deleted all of that stuff because I didn't see the point of having it. I didn't need it. I mean, the same thing with my shading tab. There's no stuff on the side here. The animation, none of this was here. This is 2 screens usually. I changed all it up. I created my own NLA editor space. I have to do one for the graph editor too. But nonetheless, that's one of the things that I always say that makes it simple, is just go in and find the thing that you want to do and then do that thing. So if you really want to tell stories, tell stories. If you want to make a series, I don't care if it's role play, if it's fan fiction, if it's your own original stories, just tell them. Even if you just have to use cutouts, if you have to use what's the app called, Plotagon, it's decent for what it is. You can actually put your own voiceovers on it, and you don't have to use their default voices. Maybe get with a friend or a buddy, or have, you know, but the voices have to be plugged in directly on the microphone. You can't just plug them into the app. You can if you do have it on a computer, but the problem, what I found with the one on the computer, is you have to have a constant internet connection, which I don't like, because that means that you're monitoring my computer to monitor your application, and I'm not with that. But nonetheless, man, with that being said, to stay motivated, make sure it's something you want to do. Nothing but love. Sorry if I took up too much time. I don't really expect you guys to stick around too long, but that's just how I feel about it. That doesn't mean that I am correct. Nothing but love. See you around.